Another nail biter. We didn't that game didn't need to be as close as it was, but I do think you have to give Washington credit. Anybody that's watched them play or saw them live today knows that they've got a lot of talented players in that team. And I thought our defense really, again, for the most part for the game it was good, but for the last 5 minutes and 11 seconds it wasn't very good. That timeout, I remember it distinctly. It was 72-57. We're up 15. They're at the line. And I looked at the clock and said, guys, if we hold them less than 72, we win the game. They cannot beat us if we do that. And that's got to be our mindset, is defense and rebounding down the stretch. And they come out and score 23 points in that 5-11. So we didn't get that done. We got stops when we needed to. We got rebounds when we needed to. The difference in the game is us out-rebounding them by 20, without a doubt. And with this team, when we put together a defense and a rebounding effort like we did tonight, with a turnover effort like we did against Washington State, we're going to beat anybody in this league. But if we continue to be turning it over and guarding and rebounding, we're going to be in close games. If we don't guard and rebound and we don't turn it over, we're going to be in close games. We have to figure that out as a team and got to get better. And that's our challenge as coaches, and the challenge for our players to get that done. So with that, I'll answer your questions.
What happened with the Thomas situation, and how pivotal was that?
Well, it's a learning moment, and it cost us 2 points and the ball because it was a dead ball technical foul, and the official said that he pushed off, and there was words exchanged before that, but he made a gesture with his arm, and they called a technical foul. So I didn't see it. It was down, at the end of their bench. Very unfortunate, but again, something that Thomas needs to learn from. But not only does Thomas need to learn from it, our entire roster needs to learn from it. That can't happen at that point in the game. We have to play with poise and not let that occur.
They didn't look. You guys could have been fatigued, but you guys were far from fatigued. This team looked like they had plenty of energy. Well,
again, we didn't do anything yesterday physically. And these guys are young, resilient kids, and this crowd gave these guys energy. When you're playing at home and you're playing in front of, I thought the crowd was terrific tonight. I mean, a lot of energy in the building. And look, if you haven't come to the last 2 Colorado basketball games, you're missing out, because it's been pretty fun. Not always the prettiest form of basketball, but really fun and exciting basketball, and very good players on the floor by both teams.
Coach, can you talk about the stretch, I guess, about early, midway through the second half? When they originally cut it to 1, it was 48-47. You had the bad starts in the second half. What was the discussion? What was the team able to do? That's when it seemed like the game could have got away from them. Thomas had a good stretch, and you were able to pull away and bad that lead.
The discussion was, let's take care of the darn ball. We had 6 turnovers coming out, in the first, I don't know how many possessions in the second half, but I mean, it's pretty simple. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to watch our team and figure out, where we struggle sometimes. Just taking care of the basketball. Look, we will get good shots if we take care of it, and we got to get the ball in the lane. We got to make good decisions, and we started doing that. Thomas got us going a little bit, and but that was the message. Continue to guard, continue to rebound. That's going to keep us in the game. But take care of the darn ball and get a great shot for our team.
Sure, while you say that these are great games to watch these last 2 games, as a coach, you wouldn't mind a blowout, would you?
No, I'd rather have a blowout. That's my point. Is like, this isn't any fun for me. It's not fun for our players when you give up leads like we had at Washington State. Was it Thursday night? And then we had leads today. We gave up. It's like, no, it's no fun for the players. It's no fun for the coaches. But for the fans, it should be frustrating, I'm sure, at times. But also, coming down the stretch, it's. But I'm sure there's some of our fans that would rather have a blowout too. I know I would. But until we figure out what our problems are and solve our problems. But look, this is a good league, and you're gonna. We've said it many, many times. If you don't play well, and it doesn't matter if you're on the road or at home, if you don't play well, you're going to get beat. And we almost got beat Thursday. We almost got beat today, but we didn't. This team has shown grit. It's shown toughness all year long, going back to double-digit deficits in the second half in November and in December, overcoming those, winning games. We've had our share of blowouts, but we've won a couple one-possession games, and that's what you have to do if you want to be where we want to be, which is top half of the league, competing for a championship, hopefully a bye on Wednesday of the Pac-12 tournament.
Coach, it felt like Xavier Talton's presence out there was really important and calming at certain points.
At certain points it was. Early in the second half it wasn't, and I think, but as the half went on, he came in after that, after he got settled down a little bit, hit a three, kind of got his confidence going. Our whole thing coming into this game is we wanted to play with confidence and aggressiveness. And I thought for the most part we did that. I thought we got a little bit tentative after we turned it over, kind of scared. Their pressure is out there. We got to attack their pressure better. We got to backdoor the overplay. One thing I will say is having this quick turnaround did not allow us to do some things in practice on Friday that I would have liked to have done to prepare for Washington, which is handling their pressure and going against pressure. But again, Friday, I didn't want our guys, I wanted them to rest mentally, rest physically, so they'd have energy. We knew what we had to do. We just got to come out and do it. But we didn't get a chance to practice.
How tough was it for you to find the mix there late with all that foul trouble?
It was hard. Coach was like, when do you want to go back with Wes and Dom? I said, about the 4-minute mark. And we were playing zone, and I wanted to steal some more. We're up 9. We can steal 1 or 2 possessions and get stops against their zone, use shot clock, and maybe score once or get fouled. Now it's an 11-point game with 2 to go. You got it in hand. But we couldn't get those stops. And we come down and we wouldn't get scores. We got to the foul line a couple of times. But we let them back in the game. And so that tentativeness, Wes didn't want to foul out. Dom didn't want to foul out. Thomas did with the technical. So it was difficult. We overcame foul trouble in the first half. And we overcame foul trouble in the second half with a depleted roster. Which, again, is a testament to our players that are in uniform.
Wes has responded to Josh's absence in a big way.
Big way.
3 straight double-doubles.
Yep.
Just seems nasty. What can you say?
Yeah, Wes is playing with confidence. He's a presence defensively. He misses Josh being out there because they play off each other so well. But with Josh going down, Wes has stepped up. There's no doubt. And so is Torrey Miller. Now, Torrey's not replacing Josh, but he's had to make some mental adjustments. And he's done that. But Wes Gordon, I can't say enough about the way he's playing. A couple big-time offensive rebounds on Thursday night. Big-time offensive rebounds tonight when we needed them the most. And what you need is your veteran players late in games to make plays. And Wesley Gordon has done that for us the last 2 games. So really happy with the way he's playing. And we're taking tomorrow off, and I don't think anybody deserves it more than Wes does.
Coach, what did you see out of Fletch either yesterday or this morning? You thought he'd be good to go?
Yeah.
How big were his contributions in the first
He was
half?
better. Yeah, he came in. He made a couple shots for us. I thought he helped us out defensively. And, again, he's not 100%, but I thought he played well. And so hopefully we can get him back 100%. Thomas is pretty much 100% now after his ankle turn, and hopefully we can get the big fella back next week. That's the plan, but again, you don't know until Josh comes to me and says, Coach, I'm ready to go. I know this. He's going to be back as soon as he can be back. And I said this before the game with Mark Johnson on the radio. Josh Scott's toughness is unquestionable. Okay, he will play as soon as he's able to play physically. And I know that. He knows that. And hopefully it's Wednesday, but I don't know that until Wednesday.
George 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
George 10 rebounds. Josh 14 with 9. Have they gotten the message?
Big time. We talked about it at halftime. I think our perimeter players, again, I consider George and Josh a perimeter player. I think he had 20 rebounds at halftime, 21 rebounds amongst them at halftime with the guards. That's something we really wanted. We knew Torrey's going to rebound. We knew Wes was going to rebound. But those guys needed to step up, and they did, both offensively and defensively. So, George's contribution, rebound the ball was big. Josh Fortune's was big. We needed it. Dom, Thomas, XT, they're all in there battling. Key to the game. Rebounding was the difference in this game. No doubt about it.
You guys have a lot of senior leaders, but have you seen leadership qualities from George that have shown through here?
Well, he's working on that. And again, when it comes to leadership, and one of the things I've talked about with George is, look, good players make themselves better. Great players and leaders make those around them better. And so he's got the ability to do that, but that's something he's still kind of dialed into his game and making sure he's ready and he's playing well, and that's kind of where his mindset is right now. So that's going to be a process that we would like to certainly foster and accelerate. He can get there someday. The best way is to play well, play hard, and to lead by example. Then it becomes, okay, what are you doing to help out Torrey Miller? What are you doing to help out Dom Collier? What are you doing to help out the guys maybe around you. And that's the step that George needs to make, and I think he can make, and hopefully he will make.
What's your early thoughts on the challenges ahead, the 2 games swinging through LA?
Just let me enjoy this one till midnight. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I know we got a big challenge in LA. USC's probably the most improved team in the league. UCLA is arguably one of the most talented teams in the league, much better than their record indicates. So we've got a challenge ahead of us in LA. We know that, and but we're going to take tomorrow off. We're going to rest our minds, rest our bodies, and obviously I'll be watching film tomorrow on SC and UCLA, but I'm not going to do it today. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so try to do some husbandly duties as well. Thank you.